We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're drive-in theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. What's up, y'all? It is, it's not Halloween. It's like Halloween adjacent, right? We're really
Pretty
close to Halloween.
3 days.
This is our Halloween episode, right? Okay, this is just gonna be it. It's the Halloween, the drive-in Speakerbox Halloween. I mean, I wouldn't call it an extravaganza, right? It's just spooky. The time is now. It's like the best fucking time of the year, guys. Like, yeah, effing bombs, man. It's spooky season. We're in the studio. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm the grip.
And we're gonna be spooking it tonight. I've got my Beetlejuice jacket on. Look, I'm matching the lava lamp over there. And before you go, where's your black and your white shirt? Cartoon Beetlejuice wore the purple shirt. So I'm
The fun version.
that's right. I didn't want to dye my fingertips red though. And he had like the weird like worm tongue. No, it was pretty cool. But yeah, we're here. We're gonna be talking to you about movies this week. Did you see anything new in theaters, Jay?
No, I did watch Nightmare Before Christmas anniversary release in the theater.
I too watched an anniversary release in the theater, and
We,
it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I saw that was out there. We did not really get new movies. There was that new.
It was Venom.
Yeah, there was Venom, but I still haven't seen the second one.
It's okay.
So I didn't watch the third one, and the only other new movie was the Ralph Fiennes.
The clergy movie.
Yeah. Lots of Christian things.
Spooky Christians.
There wasn't anything that was like new that was like, man, I got to see that. So watched a holiday classic. So to see it on the big screen, to hear things and see things that you don't see otherwise.
Speaking of hearing things, you can see things. You can see us if you're tuning in to the live stream, which is just airing right now, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. But what we're listening to in the background, I used to have the clown doll that made this noise. It was terrifying. They obviously ran it through an echo effect. But this is Halloween Howls. It's a cassette tape from 1988. Maybe many of you guys had it. If you ever trick-or-treated in the late 80s, early 90s, if you were alive, these people would put this cassette in like boom boxes and put it outside, like air it out the windows.
Yeah.
And this shit is kind of terrifying. Like, I mean, listen to this.
Yeah, just compilation of creepy noises.
Now it's all like lo-fi beats you can like chill and trick or treat to. This is just like people screaming and I mean, it's weird. And the records used to do it, but these Halloween Howls tapes, they're very weird. Dean over on Twitch, she said, I hated these cassettes because they were so scary. They were scary. They terrified me as a kid. But now I love them.
You know what? Just a little bit of news here since it's related. Speaking of 1988, did you see that there's the new Fear Street announced, and it's taking place in 88?
What? That sounds cool. I really liked the other Fear Street movie.
Yeah, I know
trilogy.
you talked about them. This one is called Prom Queen, and it takes place in 88, and the poster has a high school prom marquee, and the letters D-I-E are red, and the rest of them are black.
Got them.
So that's a thing there. That, you know what? Talking horror movies too. That little bit right there, that like wow wow. That sounds like the from Trick or Treat where they play the album backwards to make what's his name, the electricity like hair rocker dude come back. You know what I'm talking
Which
about?
one?
Trick or Treat with
Oh yeah,
Ozzy and Gene Simmons and
Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Or is it Trick or because
Trick or Treat?
Trick or Treat. Trick
Trick
or
or
Treat.
Treat is the
where's the
one
candy?
with the pumpkin on the front of it.
I have the lollipop. Oh, it's right there. It's right there in the film projector on our backdrop. Yeah. That Trick or Treat's actually a really good movie. But yeah,
What's the name of the guy? I can't remember
what's the name of the guy?
Oh man,
Think of the movie. What's his name?
right. Sammy Kerr. There it is.
Sammy Haker.
Yeah, Sammy Kerr, and he kills himself in that hotel fire. And
Now,
then
is that the same movie? Is it like Black Roses or whatever, or where there's the other rock band horror movie, and they are like going and playing on tour, and it's during the Satanic Panic era of the 80s, and like all these parents are like, you can't listen to this, and the kids are going in there and they're turning into demons.
No, not this. This one's just like Sammy Kerr, like comes and tries to kill everyone, and
I
he has
think
his
it's-
like the burned side of his face, and
What is it? I think it's like called. Is it like called Black Roses? Yeah, Black Roses, 1988 horror film about a heavy metal band of demons who hypnotize teenagers with their music. The
that
band
sounds cool.
Black Roses, led by Damien, choose Mill Basin for their world tour, but they have plans to turn the teens into antisocials. English teacher Mr. Morehouse must save the town.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Here, I wonder if we can play this, because like I'm not gonna play the music, but or maybe fuck it. Who cares? What can we do here?
Well, who owns it is the
What did
thing.
Emerson
Bounty
mean by
Films?
the Red Slayer?
Emerson?
But trouble's coming to Mill Basin.
But trouble
And
is
this
coming.
Will never be the same.
Dude, really?
Yes.
If rock and roll is the devil's music, then Black Roses is the house band.
I mean, last week, all they could think about was midterms. Now it's Black Roses.
Dude, I hope that that's the hero. Mustachioed teacher.
The English teacher's mustache. Look, they just shoved him out the window.
I love you, Dad.
There's something going on in this town, and you gotta help me stop it.
Have you never seen this?
No, how have I never
Did you
seen
go see
this?
that show again after I told you not to?
God, I'll try that.
You have to come with me to that concert tonight. Now, I can't explain it. I think
all those
they're doing
witchcraft
something to the
magazines.
kids, controlling their minds. I can feel it, Neil.
Look at that speaker coming to life. Whoa!
Dude, a T-Rex spider?
Right into the speaker.
I brought you a present.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is going on?
What the hell? Mommy. Look at that.
What'd you do with my kids?
Damien.
Oh, he loses the hair when he becomes like
Well, he becomes a demon. Dude.
Oh, it just gave away the ending of the movie right there.
This side of hell is
Hottest
coming to
band
town,
this side of
and they're
hell.
saving your soul a seat.
Dude. Black Roses.
Oh, dude,
man.
the cover for that is sick.
Dude, the movie is sick. Like, I can't believe you've never seen that.
I can't
dude.
believe I've never seen that either. You know what else I haven't seen? But we can watch at home starting this week. Coming out tomorrow, the 29th, you can start watching Piece by Piece, the Pharrell Williams Lego movie at home. You can buy or rent
Already?
it. Yep,
I
already.
feel like that was in theaters for one afternoon.
It's been in theaters for 2 weeks or 2 weekends. But yeah, now it's available. It's going to be available at home. And you can buy a physical version of it on the 17th of December. But yeah, if you want to watch that at home, it's there already. Also, things that you're going to be able to watch at home this week.
because nothing's coming out in theaters this weekend.
Yeah,
by the way, like literally nothing.
Substance. The Substance is going to be available to stream on Mubi starting on.
It did get a re-release this week. It's at the Malco here in town. If you want to check it out.
Starting on Halloween, Thursday, you can watch on Mubi if you have that. So you can watch The Substance at home. Hopefully it'll come to more streaming platforms before long from there. And talking streaming too, we got Netflix.
Well, also speaking of streaming, before you get into that Netflix, What We Do in the Shadows, new season just dropped this week. You can check it out.
Well, they show that on Real TV too, though, right? It's not just
Who
on
has Real TV.
Well, okay, fair point.
Yeah.
So coming out on on FX, where you can watch it on Hulu.
Yep.
What We Do in the Shadows.
But what's on Netflix?
Netflix has announced that their app will now have a thing called Moments, where you can bookmark your favorite scenes and download just the scenes to watch offline. But also, you can
That's weird.
You can now cut and share scenes from their shows.
Wait a minute.
To
what?
like Instagram and Facebook.
Only their shows or movies?
Shows and movies.
Because I mean, how does that get in? You know, like this show, the Drive-In Speakerbox, could be so much more fun if we could play copyrighted material. You have no idea the wealth of insanity that is up here. Like, you thought that pulling that Black Rose trailer out of my butt just like randomly is rare. I would be dropping crazy shit on you guys every week.
We used to do that quite a bit
on the radio when we could do the radio, but now we can't.
So Netflix said, you know that feeling when a scene, character, or line from a show or movie just sticks with you and you can't help but text your friends? You have to watch this. It's so good.
They wanna be TikTok memeable.
Yep.
That's what they're trying to do.
Whether it's sparking Halloween costume ideas or becoming a TikTok sensation, the incredible fandoms we see are a testament to what makes Netflix amazing. Our new campaign's all about celebrating unforgettable moments, taking you back to the feeling you had when you first became obsessed with a great show on Netflix. So it's like, well, dude, you have to watch this. You can just show them the scene. So you can make Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts on your own from Netflix.
Because I do really think if they just allowed things to stay under 30 seconds, then let us make you money, because I mean that's what we're doing. We're spreading, and maybe somebody at Netflix is getting their head out of their ass and going, hey, if we do just let these things go viral, if we do because you know how many people rewatched or just watched Beetlejuice for the absolute first time recently because of all the media talk about it. Because I was dressed as Beetlejuice at Saturday at Nightmare on Block Street. We have a Beetlejuice area, and I talked to so many people that had watched it for the first time because people have been talking about it online. And if you just let us give us 30 seconds, maybe even 60 seconds. Your movie sometimes is 2 hours long. Give us 60 seconds, and we will put so many more eyes on that media.
Well, and that's exactly what they're saying, is that it'll get more attention, but it does come at the risk of spoilers being just shown. So if you're a person affected by spoilers,
then you're gonna hate this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get over it, or just stay off the internet, which I know some people do. Which things that you may have to deal with coming out. Empire Magazine said that Dawn of the Jedi, the prequel, the earliest thing, the Jedi Origins movie. They are set to begin production of that very soon, which could be as early as sometime next year, possibly by the end of next year. If anyone out there still cares about Star Wars at all,
I don't.
I've stopped. They failed to keep the gate and hold the wall, and tourists came in, and Star Wars is done. Star Wars is gone.
I think. When did I give up on Star Wars? I think it was season 2.
2002.
Well, it wasn't that. I think I officially gave up on Star Wars after season 2 of The Mandalorian. I was trying to hold on, guys.
I gave up in 2002.
You tell me you didn't like the Clone Wars animated show?
That was pre. Oh no,
that was pretty
good.
After
because
I was pretty good.
It was very good. The original, not that it's CGI. I'm talking the hand drawn, the Genndy Tartarovsky Clone Wars, the like short, like the 3 to 5 minutes. Like
those are great.
Yes. Mace Windu was badass. Grievous looked super
rad. Cool.
And then episode 3 happened, and you're like, no.
Because Velvet Santa on Twitch said Rogue One was pretty good, and I was literally just about to mention. I enjoyed Rogue One. I enjoyed
plot
it.
Holes. There was plot holes. The movie.
There was so many plot holes. Yeah, for sure. But I enjoyed it as a movie. Everything. I
like the Darth Vader scene.
Everything after that, I didn't even like The Mandalorian season 1, but I gave it. You know, I was like, all right, okay, fine. It had that. Wah, wah, boom, 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 boom. And it was like, okay, Pedro Pascal keeping the mask on. That's kind of tight. It's what Judge Dredd should have been. You know, but then it just lost me, and everything past that, I'm just like,
what's that new series that they just canceled because they're like, I can't believe people don't like it. Oh, we only did everything that people would hate. Like
surprise.
Yeah, whatever that one, The Apprentice or whatever that dumbass show was. Also, from 20th Century, lots of big things here. Steve Asbell, the president of 20th Century Studios,
is that even a thing now?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Disney buy it?
Disney bought it. That's why he's the president, not a CEO.
Okay.
And it's of 20th Century Studios, not 20th Century Fox.
Right, okay.
So he sat down with Hollywood Reporter and talked about all sorts of everything. He said that they are working on a sequel to that newest Alien movie, but they've yet to fully work out their deal with Fede Alvarez.
So they are in talks with him. Okay, well, that's good.
There is another Planet of the Apes scheduled for release in 2027.
Okay.
The Predator Badlands and the still Mystery Predator movie that's supposed to come out alongside it are due out next year. And he was asked about a Predator versus Alien, since Alien and Predator are both being done, like things are being done with them right now. He said that it's in the cards, but it would happen naturally with characters that you care about. It wouldn't be an explicitly Alien versus Predator as in the previous movies or comic books or anything.
Okay.
Though they could still do the comic book story since it was completely ignored.
Yeah, ignored in the movies.
By the movies, yeah. So there is that. There is also, he said, Avatar, Fire and Ash is still on schedule for next
that's
year.
blue avatars, right? I don't care about that.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't care about either one.
You never watched Last Airbender.
I've watched a couple of episodes.
That doesn't
and it was
count.
Dumb.
You are so freaking wrong. You are so wrong. You're sitting here wearing a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt where most of those episodes are done.
Oh, there is a Z.
But you like, and same with One Piece. Most of those episodes are dumb, but you churn through enough of them.
You can't.
And you watch enough, and you're like, you know what? The greater whole is more than the sum of its parts, right? And Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of those that, like, the first couple of episodes start you off super slow, super tongue-in-cheek, super lighthearted. By the end of it, you are weeping. You are weeping, bro.
Okay.
Don't you weep? Don't you have feels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Ball, you're like defending Dragon Ball as content and going, nah, dude, I watched a couple Avatar and it's stupid. No, Avatar is a masterpiece.
It's no Dragon Ball.
It's so much better.
No.
It doesn't need 700 episodes of combat fillers.
And you know what? To that point, Dragon Ball was redone as Dragon Ball Kai to completely remove all of the filler.
The superfluous garbage that wasn't needed? Yeah.
And the filler was
Guess
there
what?
because
Avatar
it was such
didn't
a
even need it.
popular media franchise that they were catching up to the manga faster than Akira Toriyama could do it.
Wow.
Dragon Ball is a worldwide phenomena. You can't compare.
And Avatar is pretty awesome too.
And Avatar is anime for white kids on Nickelodeon.
And everybody across the globe loves it.
And it's not anime.
It's not supposed to be anime. It's an animated series.
Okay.
Some people think that it's anime, but they're not.
Some people do, and they're wrong.
Well,
they're
they are
very
wrong. Doesn't mean it's not great.
I have no desire to ever watch Avatar.
Oh, you are missing out.
You can like it as much as you want.
Out.
It's just
Vince on Twitch just says it seems like a kiddie show at first, but then hits you with a fire punch in the face.
It does seem very much like a
you
kiddie
are
show.
going to spit on Mako's grave and say, you know what, Mako? Fuck you.
No, dude.
Tua.
I'll watch.
You're gonna hawk Tua on that thing?
No,
You're gonna hawk Tua on the ghost of one of the greatest voice actors
Bruh.
and greatest wizards to ever grace
watched-
Aquilonia.
I watched Conan so many times and Samurai Jack.
Dude, it's so much better than Samurai Jack.
I don't know about that.
He is General Iroh. He is the dragon of the West. He is the sweetest uncle with.
Was that not Mark Hamill?
No, that was Mako.
Who does Mark Hamill do?
He's not in Avatar.
Yes, he sure is.
Is he? Well,
yeah.
he's not.
Does he come in and fill in for Mako once Mako passed
maybe,
away?
I don't know, but Mako, dude, Mako did most of the first 2 seasons of Avatar, and it's so good. And it's so good.
Well,
I mean, I went and saw the Avatar in the orchestral concert that came through here and played all these orchestral pieces from the music from Avatar with different scenes and stuff at the Walton Arts Center. I'm not gonna lie, cried during the Mako bit because it was one of the coolest. General Iroh is one of the coolest characters. I swear to God, he's so badass.
I'm glad that Velvet Santa's on my side at least. He also has not watched either one. So
Velvet Santa has a child. You should instead of like forcing your kid to be a Ghostbusters fan, like let him watch Avatar.
Ghostbusters is cooler for the most part.
You guys are so wrong. You have no clue. You know what? How about try something before you hate on it?
I've tried watching it. I didn't care for it.
You remember when you told me, like, you're like, bro, you would like Deep Space Nine. I'm like, I watched 3 episodes. It's the stinkiest butt garbage I've ever seen in my life. And you're like, nah, dude, just like watch some more. And I'm like, okay, I will, because friends recommend good things to friends, and when I recommend something to Jake, you're like, "Fuck this!
You also
garbage. I'm not gonna watch Shogun.
That's not how.
I'm not gonna watch Avatar. I'm not gonna watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated show.
That's not how it works.
You don't know what I like.
You
and
didn't
it's
listen.
All trash.
You didn't listen to me.
And
you
I
waited
watched it
until
and I loved
someone
it.
else also.
Nobody else has ever recommended it to me.
No. There was a table full of people that were like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool," and you were like, "Oh, really?"
No.
Well, Jake told me, and he's an idiot.
Nope.
So.
I have always credited you to recommending the show for me.
Well, there were several of us that all said to do it. Anyhow.
How many times have I recommended things to you and you immediately turn your nose up as a stinkeroo?
I'm
telling you.
Not many.
I'm telling you.
I got past the dog murder and John Wick because you were like, dude, you got to watch it. Otherwise, I would have turned it off immediately and never watched it.
And I was right on that one, too.
Yeah, which I don't watch that scene anymore. I watched the once. And
I'm telling you.
Anyhow, Steve Aspel.
Speaking of Halloween.
He did say that they're working on a Master and Commander prequel, and he's very excited about that. I don't know why prequel's needed.
Wait, Master and Commander? Like that old 2000s movie about the
2003
ships?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're making a Gladiator 2. Why not make a Master and Commander -1?
That makes absolutely zero sense.
He also says they're trying to get Speed 3 off the ground with Keanu Reeves returning. And he said that Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are both very excited.
Well, wouldn't
so they're
you
trying
be?
to find a way to make that work. But something kind
What
of...
other thing needs to go fast? What, the first one was the buses. Mm-hmm. The second one was... The boat, yeah. And, I mean...
Monorail trains.
Oh, man, monorail.
Well, there's a subway in the first one because that's where they have the showdown with the bomb, and then it launches up through the subway tunnel and all that. Speed
Ridiculous.
1 is so good. And he also said that they have at least 3 other Agatha Christie projects in the works here, which is And Then There Were None, Witness for the Prosecution, and Miss Marple. After was the Venice Ghost Story, Ghost of Venice, whatever.
Yeah, that's on streaming right now.
But it wasn't a success, right?
But it was good.
Well, but they're still making more Agatha Christie movies. That's at least something. One thing you probably don't want more of.
But speaking of Ghost in Venice, a good Halloween movie right now. No jump scares, a lot of good fun.
Haunting in Venice, is that what it is?
Yeah, Haunting in Venice. If you guys want a spooky movie to watch, it's on streaming. Check it out. I'm trying to sneak in some spooky content here, guys.
Spooky content. Well, what's scary is that Jumanji 4 has had its release date announced.
There's a 4?
They're planning a...
There's a 3?
December 11th, 2026 release date for that one. Yeah, there's a 3.
Yeah, there's a 3. Hang on.
know.
I got Jumanji 3. The next level. I guess that's Jumanji 1. Hey, thanks for the sub, Merle. So I guess Jumanji the original is part 1. Jumanji the Dwayne Johnson's part 2, and then there was a sequel to that called The Next Level, which is in 2019. So I guess this technically means Jumanji 4. So
Jumanji 4 is the third of the new ones.
Of the Jumanji, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black.
Yeah. Well,
Can we just be done with Jack Black? I mean, I think I'm Jack Blacked out. I think I'm there.
Maybe.
Mark Landry over on YouTube asks, didn't Master and Commander have like 6 novels worth of source material, but it was too expensive to make?
Probably.
It's not like Waterworld. But I mean, Master and Commander, like,
it was a book for sure.
Well, yeah, sure, but
I didn't know it was 6 books.
If I could, like, if the dude that his party trick is remembering all these dumb movies is like, Master and Commander, huh? And I'm doing that. What idiot greenlit this?
Who knows, man? Maybe Russell Crowe's looking for work. You know what? Talking of fourth sequels here, Spider-Man 4, the Disney Spider-Man, also had its date announced, which is July 24th of 2026. So lots of things coming up here for 2026. And then you'll know something that's ridiculous that it got a sequel since Master and Commander is so shocking. Blue Streak. What year did that movie come out? 1990 what?
What?
Yeah. So Martin Lawrence has his production 99.
Well,
yeah.
okay, I will say this, because after his performance in the last Bad Boys movie, I mean, Martin Lawrence redeemed himself a little bit, because I thought Martin was after Mind Cage. I thought Martin was done. I'm like, okay, we're done. But Blue Streak, maybe the time is right. If he can get Luke Wilson and Dave Chappelle back on board, then let's go.
But how do you make a sequel that I don't remember how that movie ends, but the whole thing was that he was a jewel thief. He hid the jewels in a building
it's
under
reverse
construction.
Bad Boys. It's reverse Bad Boys.
So he hid it in the building under construction. He goes to jail for 2 years for like breaking and entering or whatever. And when he gets out, he goes and it's the police station. It's the new police station, right? So he has to pose to get into the police station to recover all of these diamonds that he hid, right?
I mean,
so how do they make a sequel to that? Because it's like I don't remember how. Does he become a full-fledged cop? Is he going back to being a jewel thief?
Does he go back to wearing those? You remember when all those teeth were what were they called? Bubba teeth, or whatever they were. All the rage in the 90s.
Yeah, get them out of the quarter machines.
Yeah.
I mean, how is it gonna have a sequel though? Like 20 some odd years later, at least 26 years later.
Because someone watched this. I'm playing the clip for those of you that are just listening to the audio, and they're like, you know what? This needs a sequel.
Right. Well, it was Martin Lawrence that decided that. It's his production company.
Oh my gosh.
So he's like, you know what? Let's find me a paycheck. Which, you know what? The first Blue Streak is very good.
It's funny.
It's a very funny movie. I don't know how you're going to make a sequel nearly 30 years later. So good luck there. Also something out of time. The War of the Rohirrim, the movie.
Well, that's coming out in, Christmas?
Yeah, the anime Lord of the Rings movie.
I saw a poster for it today.
Well, they just showed that Christopher Lee is going to be in it, like actual Christopher Lee. So they took his likeness and they animated it, but they went through and they used audio of him doing takes for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So it's his voice as Saruman voicing lines, and it's him drawn in. So they're going to have
that's weird.
Christopher Lee will still be Saruman the White.
He's been dead for like 10 years.
Has it been 10 years?
Well, 9.
Wow.
He'll be his 10-year death anniversary will be in June.
Wow, it does not feel like it's been that long. But yeah, he will still be Saruman.
Christopher Lee. P.S. One of the greatest Draculas ever.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I was reading that like Peter Jackson and the estate of his family, which I guess like his whoever was in charge of his estate is also passed away now. But they're like, yeah, that
takes a minute.
This is what Christopher Lee would have totally wanted. But then thinking back on his Dracula stuff and how much he got to where he hated it. It's like, is it really what he wants? Is to be made as Saruman, like when he is passed? Because Saruman is not who he wanted to play.
No.
He wanted to be Gandalf. And he was personal friends with J.R.R. Tolkien. And for him to keep embodying this role even after he's gone, I mean, he got to where he hated being Dracula. He hated being recognized as Dracula and all the movies that they would cast him in.
The Hammer horror Draculas.
Yeah, and so I don't know. For us, it's cool because it's Christopher Lee and he's going to continue to be Saruman. But so that's one of those things, kind of like the CGI of characters in like Star Wars and stuff. Who knows? But anyhow, that's coming out.
Christopher Lee.
And then the last bit that I have here is that Clint Eastwood's Juror Number 2, his potentially final film, is set to be released in as little as only 50 theaters.
50
in the U.S. Yeah, it's going to have a limited release.
See it.
It is being released in multiple countries. It's going to be in the UK, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany. But as far as the U.S. goes, it's going to have limited release of only 50 theaters. And that may be as many as it ever gets.
No, well, that's sad.
Yeah. So if you were like, oh, I want to watch Clint Eastwood's last movie, good luck.
How old is he? He's like 1 million.
80 something.
God,
I do not know.
That's so weird.
Early 80s, mid 80s. He's older than you think, but like
93. Maybe.
93.
That's crazy.
Wow. 94 as of this year. His birthday was May 31st, 1930. So yeah, he's almost 100 years old. How about that?
Speaking of Halloween, 100 years old. Let me review a movie really quick. Let me review Texas Chainsaw Massacre because this is Halloween. We got to talk about some spooky stuff. It's Halloween. Hang on, let me get my Halloween sounds back. Like where were we on that? Yeah, here we go. Is your heart pumping? Let's talk about Halloween movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's in theaters this week.
Yep.
It's in theaters right now. This movie came out. How perfect. How perfect is that? 1974.
Yeah, just the longest toot.
Just. The thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's always bothered me
20 novels of Master
is that chainsaws are not really good horror movie weapons. But you've had guys like Leatherface and then Ash Williams and, it's an iconic horror movie tool, even though it's not a great tool, even though in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, there's a really, 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 really good chainsaw fight. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre in theaters right now.
Mandy.
Again, yeah, I forgot about the Mandy chainsaw. It's got a scary noise to it, except for it only has a scary noise when you're revving it. When it's just like idling, it's just sounds like a go-kart, like blah 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 blah. You got to use up your gasoline. Which again, if you're thinking about the science of a chainsaw and someone's running after you, going, they're running out of their gasoline. So what if they like get to you, and then they've been revving it so long, and then it's like coming up to the skin, it's like, yeah. And like that's not going to do anything. It doesn't even have chopping power.
It has the teeth. It has sharp teeth.
Yeah, but do you know how heavy a chainsaw is and how thin the blade is? They're really kind of flimsy.
I think the thing about it is that it's motorized, it's mechanized melee. So it's like it's a blade, but it's like powered. And there's something
you can't cut through bone unless you got power, right? Is that how it goes? well, okay. I saw this movie in theaters. I'd never, ever seen this in theaters. I actually have it playing on a CRT television right now at Pinpoint.
Oh yeah, the Texas Chainsaw setup with it on the TV
is
really
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I've got Leatherface there. I've got Grandpa Sawyer there in his chair. I've got bones, real bones everywhere. I made a bone lamp. It's like super spooky. And then the Texas Chainsaw movie is playing in the background or on the tube TV. And as a person who has seen this movie a bunch of times but never in a theater, I have to say that wow, this movie, while having only about an $80,000 budget, ended up making $30 million at the box office. Tobe Hooper just really knocking it out of the park. A lot of crazy stories came out of the behind the scenes. You know, it was 1974 in Texas. Like a lot of people did not. There was no PETA. There was no insurance. There was no. This was truly a DIY movie. That there's a lot of crazy stories about the production of this movie. I read a really, really odd story about the scene where they cut the girl's finger and put it in Grandpa Sawyer's mouth so he can suck the blood, because that's the lore, that Grandpa Sawyer's like super old and they feed him the blood of these people so he can live longer. That doesn't come until like the second one. But the gag that they were trying to rig up to make the finger bloody wasn't working, and so Tobe Hooper on set accidentally like malfunctioned it and cut the girl's finger and just shoved it in the actor's mouth, and so he was actually sucking the girl's real blood in the scene, and just like weird stuff. The movie is.
There could have been a way you edited that without the need for doing that.
But this movie really holds up as an odd. I mean, there's some awful performances in this movie, but overall the movie is just unsettling, to this day unsettling, where a lot of horror movies rely on these, like, you know, Terrifier 3 is in theaters right now. There's a lot of overproduced, a lot of extra lore, a lot of crazy grotesque scenes, and believe it or not, Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't very grotesque. It doesn't have a lot of gore. It's just extremely unsettling. It's extremely disturbing, because anybody that's ever been through the South and stopped at a gas station or seen these dilapidated houses that have trucks parked out front, like who lives in there? What do they do in there? Like, why are they out here? This seems very disturbing. And this movie is what you think about. It's like, what's going on back there? Why is there all this taxidermy around? And it's because these people are crazy and they're inbred and they're going to eat you. And it was a trip seeing it in the theater. I'm really, really, really glad I went. Like, this movie is legendary for a reason. You know, it made shitloads of money. It's over the course of the years, as of I think 2019, has made over $150 million in the box office for a movie that was made in 1970 and only cost the dude like 80 grand to make. So it's been more successful than any of these A24 or like Blumhouse movies. Yeah, but the crazy part is, and if you're listening to the podcast, you're not going to see this, but it goes on to spin off like one of the most classic like 1980s crazy scenes where the Sawyer family, there's this just absolutely ridiculous chainsaw fight that this oh my god, look at this. This is just wild. And this guy was in the original, but you know, you gotta give it up for Dennis Hopper coming into this movie, because Dennis Hopper was also insane. And then Leatherface and Dennis Hopper have this crazy chainsaw fight, and it makes no sense. And this is what like 80s horror sequels were all about. Like, it was absolutely insane. The movie's nuts. It sets up the lore. Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's kind of like what was it? You know, there was the Day of the Dead, like the Night of the Living Dead, and then like the sequels got more and more insane. Where Dawn of the Dead, and the one with Tarman. Like there was a sweet spot for 80s horror where like the sequels just jumped the shark and went totally ham. But then, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise like starts to shoot itself in the foot back in the 2020, like 2017, 2022. There's a lot of just terrible remakes. As Dina said on Twitch, Dennis Hopper didn't know he was in a movie. He was so coked out at that period in his life. I've heard interviews with him on NPR, and he's like, yeah, there was like years of my life I don't remember.
I was trying to explain Easy Rider to my girlfriend the other day, and because she said something about like bikers and hippies hanging out. And I was like, well, there's a whole movie about this. And then I was like...
Dennis Hopper.
And then here's how it ends. She was like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, it's... Yeah.
Pretty wild. But anyway, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you could see it in theaters maybe this week if it's playing in theater to you. I highly recommend going and seeing these classic horror movies in theaters the way they were intended. It hits different. It's not the same as having them on a TV in the background at a Halloween party where you're only going to turn around where a person's getting chopped or screaming. You're not going to get the whole experience if you have a chance to see these movies. Like when we saw Jaws in the theater for the first time. Holy crap, that movie actually is scary in the theater. Check it out. It was a lot of fun. And you saw Nightmare Before Christmas in theaters.
I did.
How did that hit?
It was okay.
I mean, it's a musical.
It is a musical. You know, I
don't really like that movie.
I don't like that movie either.
I love the visuals. I love the characters. Don't like the movie.
Yeah, I went with my girlfriend. She is a fan of the movie, and she said the same thing like we say about Jaws or Texas Chainsaw or something. When seeing it in the theater, when you've never watched it in the theater, there are things you can see. There's things you can hear that you wouldn't otherwise, and everything. I mean, it was fine. I watching it in the theater helped me realize how off the pace of that movie really is. And so many people remember it fondly. I think because there's standout imagery.
Amazing imagery and amazing scenes.
But it goes by very quickly. And so for that to stand out to people and impact people the way it did, good on it.
I feel like, the hot take, Nightmare Before Christmas falls into my Three Amigos phenomenon, where it's a way better movie to like remember and talk about and think about the great parts of it than it is to sit and watch.
I like watching Three Amigos. I think it's a fun movie.
When's the last again?
Napoleon Dynamite. Like, so when I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I did not like it. But then talking about it later, you're like, oh yeah,
it was great. This part was great. That part was great.
But the movie itself is terrible. But then talking about it later is more fun. I think
there's something about its legacy that's better than its original.
Seeing Nightmare Before Christmas on the big screen was kind of cool because you could see all of the flaws in the claymation. You could see.
It's really early Henry Selick.
Yeah, you could see animation mistakes. You could see the flaw in the claymation. You could see inconsistencies and stuff like that.
Because it was actually clay.
But that was fun to see that it was real. Was something that was kind of cool. And here the dialogue track is really bad, but the music tracks are really good.
All remastered.
So there's things like that. It's an imperfect movie, and that kind of did make it a little intriguing to watch in the theater because it's not coming through a mono speaker on a TV, but hearing it in the stereo of the theater. Made it where the imperfections and the inconsistencies made it
charming
a little bit. Yeah. So even though it's not really a movie for me, I'm sure everyone has their own opinion there. It was something that was still fun to watch in the theater, so that you could hear and see things that you wouldn't otherwise.
I still absolutely love the character design. I love Henry Selick. I love what it was trying to do. But I just don't like sitting through the movie. And, every year at Christmas, at Pinpoint, we do a Nightmare Before Christmas scene. But yeah, if someone's like, hey, you want to sit down and watch this movie? I'm like, not really. And it's also one that I like having on in the background, but I don't want to sit and pay attention to it.
And it's just such, like I said, the pacing of it's just so off. And it's the build up to conflict and instant resolution. And then the whole point of the movie is just, it's there and it's over. definitely something probably for younger minds. And I think, the music is catchy enough that it grabs people. But,
I'm gonna do a drink this year at Pinpoint. It's gonna be called the Sandy Claus, and it'll have a tiki mug, a Jack Skellington tiki.
Yeah,
mug.
well, he doesn't have claws at all.
He does not.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's there. If it's a movie that you grew up with and you really like, good for you.
Well, and it's also,
it's
I
out
think
there.
I think Nightmare Before Christmas goes into the Hall of Fame. Like, I'm going to show this bucket that I got from AMC this month. It's a Universal Studios. It's got all the monsters. It's got Wolfman, Bride, Dracula, Frankenstein. Let's see, we got Creature, Mummy, and on the inside, it's got all of them. I thought it was really, really cool. But going back and watching a lot of these movies, some of them don't age great. Like Bride of Frankenstein, cool movie, doesn't age great, kind of boring. Wolfman, very boring movie, very awesome movie. Creature from the Black Lagoon, wow, very boring movie. Fantastic movie.
It's like it's just him stalking them and nothing happens.
He kidnaps a chick. He's like this horny fish, and he's like, I'm gonna get him. They're like, we're gonna get that guy. He's a big fish. What the hell?
When it's everyone taking like 10 minutes to load their guns, I'm like,
And like The Mummy, same thing. Super slow, super chill. Mostly like anthropologists talking about shit, and then Boris Karloff is in rags, like going really slow, but like iconic movie, like visually iconic, like so viscerally iconic that it supersedes all of its actual storytelling. And I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas is the same way. So it's just so
it's more
visually stunning, and
it's more frames of a film that you can take and it works well, as opposed to like a good story, or it's honestly not a very interesting story, but the impact visuals of like the curly hill in front of the moon, or Jack dressed as Santa or something like that. I mean, there's some visual impact, if not really anything, because it's like you ask people what's about. Oh, Skeleton wants to run a Christmas and then he fails. The end.
It's a great Christmas movie. I think it's a better Christmas movie than a Halloween movie. I don't like watching it at Halloween. I'd rather watch it at Christmas.
Well, because it's not teaching any lessons of Halloween, it's teaching lessons of Christmas.
Exactly.
And at the very end of the movie, Santa gifts Christmas to Halloween Town, and they all then learn the meaning of Christmas and take joy in simple pleasures that was gifted to them by Santa Claus.
That's right. It is a Christmas movie.
It's in fact a movie where Jack Skellington says, I hate Halloween. It's monotonous, it's dry, it's my life, and I do not like it. I want something interesting. And he finds out that rather than providing people with heart attacks and scares and things that harm them, it's much more fulfilling to provide happiness and joy, and that's what he desperately seeks. And
he's
tries,
also wrong.
He tries to explain it to the entire town. I mean, I think in the debate of Nightmare Before Christmas being a Halloween or a Christmas movie, the movie makes it pretty clear that it's a Christmas film.
It's a Christmas movie. I've always felt that way. A lot of people are like, why don't you do Nightmare Before Christmas at Nightmare on Block Street? I go, because that's a straight up Christmas movie, dude. I'm doing that at Christmas.
Yeah, they make that pretty clear, and I don't understand why there's a fan debate of that at all, because
it doesn't say Halloween before. It says Nightmare Before Christmas.
The
Christmas
whole thing is Jack Skellington is like, Halloween blows. Christmas is badass.
Yeah, but he's wrong. He's so freaking wrong. But anyway, all right. Well, it's about that time of the show. I know I could sit here and talk spooky. I wish we could talk spooky more. Where's my spooky sounds? Where? Yeah, here we go. Let me get the spooky sounds back. But we got to talk about the box office roundup this week. Top 10 movies in America.
Velvet Santa says, I wonder how much Nightmare Before Christmas has contributed to the bottom line of Hot Topics.
Invader Zim.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Invader Zim, Nightmare Before Christmas, Attack on Titan.
And there's Tokyo Ghoul. Like that's.
I don't know what that is.
It's you're wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt. Don't come at me like.
I don't have no
wait,
idea.
that was the wrong button. That's the button I wanted.
You're the one that just named something that I don't know what it is.
Tokyo Ghoul season 1's really good. Okay, well, Jake's going to give you the top 10 movies in America for this last weekend. We're going to start with number 10, work our way up to number 1, even though number 11 was A Substance, which is kind of cool. Not playing hardly any theaters, but it's there. But all right, Jake, take it away. Number 10.
Yeah, Substance held its number 11 spot, and it will be coming to Mubi for streaming because it's a movie.
Movie.
So that's out there. I do think it's worth noting that in its fourth week out, Joker is far outside of the
Number
top 10.
12 in 4 weeks.
But at number 10, Transformers 1, in its 6th week out, dropped from the 8th spot, still brought in $740,000, $58 million so far. Probably not what they were hoping for that movie, but I really haven't heard anything bad about that one. I'm sure it'll be fine once it hits streaming and gets some more eyes on it. At number 9, and only its 3rd week out, Piece by Piece, $750,000 brought in by that one, $8.9 million. That one is the Pharrell Williams Lego movie that you can start streaming, buy or rent tomorrow. And then at number 8, climbing from the 18th spot, Anora, 2 weeks out, $900,000. Okay.
It's only playing in 34 theaters. It's made a shitload of money per theater.
Yeah.
I mean, Neon, it's about a sex worker from Brooklyn meeting. It's marrying the son of some oligarch. It's a weird, like, reverse, what is it, Pretty Woman kind of thing?
I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird time to have something like pro-Russia, whatever.
Yeah.
So, weird.
Yeah, $26,000 theater average.
Wow.
And the number 1 movie in America only did 12.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange.
How about that? And then at number 7, Beetlejuice, $3.1 million brought in by it, $288.6 million in its 8 weeks in the U.S. alone, another 150 across the world. So it's made about $440 million. And then just above it, Terrifier 3 coming in at number 6, 3 weeks out for that one, $4.7 million. Wow. It has made 44.5.
I think it's going to get another bump this weekend. I think it's going to go bloop.
What did we find out its budget was? Like $8 million?
Yeah, it's not
It was
big.
like $4 million or $8 million. It's made another 10.5 across the world. $55 million for Terrifier 3. That movie's just printing money. And then holding strong at number 5, We Live in Time. This was a movie I considered watching, but it had been out for 3 weeks already. $4.8 million brought in by that one. It's grossed nearly $12 million in the U.S. It too, I guess everyone's saying that it's a really good movie. But you got to be in the mood for timeless
We Live in Time
romance. Yeah. And then opening at the number 4 spot, one of the very few new releases, Conclave, with Ralph Fiennes being Cardinal in the.
I mean, it looks pretty good.
Church.
I'm just not in the mood for church drama right now.
$6.6 million brought in by that one. Everyone says that one's going to be one he gets an award for, but of course that's the kind of thing. Ask Dina, she'll probably be able to tell you. And then at number 3, dropping from the number 2 spot, The Wild Robot, the movie that makes everyone cry. 5 weeks out, it's brought in $6.8 million, $111 million, 0.6 so far. More of that one to come. There's plenty of books for that one. That one's like Master and Commander. You try and look up the books for it, and there's tons of them. And they did say they are planning sequels after its first week out. 121.5 million across the world, so 233 total for that. Not bad.
Not bad.
And then dropping from the top spot, occupying number 2, Smile 2, in its second week out, 222, $9.5 million from it, 40.8 million so far, another 43 across the globe, $84 million for that one. Have you seen any good reviews? I haven't seen anything positive.
Honestly, I'm so ready to not hear about this movie anymore because I saw so many bad trailers that I just can't stand.
Yeah, I was over the trailers. And then, of course, the top spot, but one that they're not happy with, Venom: The Last Dance, brought in $51 million, and it's crazy
with $50 million on a third
it's crazy
sequel.
That that 51 million's not enough. Another 124 elsewhere across the globe, so 175 million so far.
And they're like, "Oh, that wasn't good enough."
Yeah. Well, who knows how many untold millions of dollars.
Yeah, but stop doing that. Like, they can't all be billion-dollar movies. You just make some fucking movies that are cool. Just make a cool movie.
I did see that this one it's like wraps up the story.
Let's be done
so that it can't move its way into the MCU.
Could we please just be done with it? We don't need to see Tom Holland and Venom team up. We don't need that. Just let them. They don't all need to be in a freaking universe.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing we missed in the news. There is already the rumblings of Wolverine making his way into MCU sooner than what you thought.
Stop. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's the show. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. Find a neighborhood and trick or treat. Do it as a grown up. Do you know how fun and unsettling it is as a grown ass person to be in a costume and go ring the doorbell just alone, not with children? Just ring the doorbell with a mask. Trick or treat. It's your God-given right. You can do it. It's not against the law.
How are they going to know you're grown up if you're in a Halloween costume?
They're not going to know. How are they going to know? But go get some candy, get a Snickers, get a Baby Ruth.
Right back in.
You know, just turn the front porch light on if you're going to be home. Go to a Halloween party, put on a costume. You're not too old for it.
I need to get a really, really good sloth costume.
Dude, so, okay, you know what I almost bought you? And I was afraid you weren't going to buy it. There's a store in the Northwest Arkansas Mall right now, and it's the crazy. So, you know, we have Spirit Halloween, of course. Everybody has a Spirit Halloween. But this is just called, like, Halloween Boutique, right? And they clearly bought, like, the back end of a semi-truck that had old costumes from the 90s and early 2000s. And it even has the old, like, price stickers that, like, price stickers. And there was a Star Trek The Next Generation Klingon costume. And it had the headpiece and this, and I was like, I wanted to get it for you to wear tonight, but I haven't had a chance to go. And it's like old dead stock, like Dita said. There was Saturday Night Live Spartan cheerleader costumes.
Nice.
It was the Dan Aykroyd skit of Halloween costumes, the store. It was so good. And they're probably still there. I need to go get you this Klingon costume.
No, that would be so cool.
Oh,
I was looking for a plastic bag. Yeah.
Bag of glass. But yeah, that if you need, just dress up, man. It's fun.
Yeah, the ninja costume. It's all black.
It's all black. Don't be a curmudgeon. You know, the Halloween only comes around once a year. You know, spooky season. Just let it be. Just have fun with it. Don't feel like I'm too old to dress up. No one's too old to dress up. Embrace your inner child. That is what they say pure genius is embracing your inner child all the way until you're dead. Like just do it. Have fun with it. Eat some candy. Go out. Go to Nightmare on Block Street. Get a spooky cocktail. It's a grown-up thing to do. You have to be 21 to do it. I just think that everybody needs to embrace some sort of spooky fun in their life. It makes you live longer. It makes you happier. It makes you healthy. So, parting words, or at least watch a scary movie. Do something.
Or watch that Dan Aykroyd Halloween costume skit. From SNL.
Just do something spooky. Get into the season. It's the reason for the season. So anyway, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on all our shit. DriveInSpeakerbox.com. You can find our link tree. You can find that on our Discord. That picture of me as Beetlejuice from this Saturday. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.